Waiting. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Minecraft Disney. I mean, this is a series that is different but has the same name, so it's kind of the same but kind of different. Obviously, I used to have a series called Minecraft Disney. It's where we explored the Minecraft recreation of Disney World attractions while we talked about the history of the actual real attractions over in Disney World, and we did it here on MC Magic. It was a blast. It was so much fun. I'm so proud of that series. That said, I kind of finished it. Like, there aren't many attractions that I haven't covered yet, and of the ones left to cover, they're usually new enough that there's not enough substantial history to go over. So I was trying to think, as I was getting more and more into Disney content again, and I was trying to think of ways to work MC Magic into it. I tried to think of, a series that would allow me to go on MC Magic and allow me to showcase MC Magic. And so I thought, why not do a new series, similar name. I think I'm going to call it something like MC Disney. And it's going to be about these servers that are all about and dedicated to and a celebration of all things Disney. Now, I said servers, plural with an S, because that's what I want to cover. Now, I'm going to take a quick second to talk about it. All of my content has been MC Magic, and I love MC Magic, and they've been so great to me, and I continue to visit MC Magic, and, they're almost like family to me. But there are a lot of other servers out there who are also working on Disney content, and some of them are really great, and some of them have a lot of talented builders, and I think it would be nice to showcase not just one server, but many servers that do this, because at the end of the day, for as much drama as you can sometimes see between Minecraft servers, whether it's Disney related or otherwise, everybody sort of has this one common belief, which is that Disney's a great place, and they must share that belief because everybody's gotten together to build all of these places together. So while today we're here in MC Magic, future episodes, I would love to feature other types of Disney servers out there. Whether it's other Disney World servers, Disneyland servers, international Disney servers. Really the only sort of rules that I'm trying to keep myself to when it comes to the series is highlighting servers that are open to the public, that aren't in the works, but actually open and live and have everything built, and servers that are Disney related. I know there are Universal servers out there. I know that there are servers for other smaller parks, whether they're amusement parks or theme parks. But this is all about Disney, because my love of Disney is what drives me to create this content. So as talented as many people might be in putting together like a Universal theme park server, it's not going to show through me because I'm just not like a big Universal fan. And hopefully there's a YouTuber out there who is a big Universal fan who does get to showcase it, because these are so fantastic builds and they should be showcased. And maybe the topic will change. Maybe it will be ride history every once in a while. Maybe it'll be interviews with people who work at these servers, or sneak peeks at things that they could, that they're bringing to these servers. Or maybe they'll just be, quick looks at parts of the servers that might not get as much attention as they normally do. Look at a ride like Space Mountain, that gets a lot more traffic in real life than, something like a Tiki Room, yet that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of talent in how the Tiki Room is built. And so, it's going to be sort of a grab bag of how these servers are highlighted. And I figured today, since I'm coming back to MC Magic after such a long break, we sort of did that quick look around, I thought it'd be fun to do a quick top 5, not like the kind that I do at Christine, but a top 5 MC Magic changes that surprised me. Now, some of these are going to be brand new changes that, maybe just showed up on the server recently, or maybe they're all changes that have been around for like over a year and I just never saw them because I haven't been on Minecraft in a long time. But they're things that I noticed when I came back on MC Magic that really took me by surprise, that I thought really highlighted some creativity. And there's some major ones, some minor ones. And so without further ado, let's just dive right in. And it's actually not here at Space Mountain. I don't know why I walked to Space Mountain. That's just sort of like, I don't know. That's just sort of where my mind went. So number 5 is here in Mexico, and actually in Germany too, and a couple of other places, because it's an effect used elsewhere around the parks, and that is how they use particle effects to replicate stars in indoor spaces. Now, I think we should see it here. I don't know if you have to walk on the pressure plate. This is one of the ones I kind of vaguely remember from back when I was on MC Magic, but still, it's one that caught me off guard, and it's one that really stood out to me, because if you think back to the early days of MC Magic, or the early days of these Disney servers in general, particle effects were not a thing. They just weren't in the game of Minecraft. And so it was really cool to see them take this new thing and really add a lot of definition to what used to be like basically just, I think they used a lot of buttons and then white blocks of wool, and they sort of speckled them around the ceiling to try and create this illusion of stars. But it never really worked out that well because they were so big and blocky, and having these particle effects, even though they could be, you know, intensive on a computer, is really nice and really, really adds to the detail. And so I'm a big fan of them. Number 4 is Epcot. No, I mean, it isn't a pretty impressive build, but my number 4 is actually really small, very nerdy, not the sort of thing you would expect on a top 5 like this, but it is the new the point of sale cash register model that they've added. Now this one I do not remember, and it's really cool. I don't know if it's fully functional within, you know, buying stuff, but just like look at the detail. And I remember Minecraft had after I stopped playing, added the ability to sort of create detailed models like this, and they went ahead and they made, you know, this little point of sale or a transaction system. It's got the little screen with the keyboard and the cash and the register, and they've sort of sprinkled them all throughout the parks. And it's just one of those things. Look, they've even got a price up there, and the little magic band wristband communicator. It's just one of those things that adds so much detail to the park. And again, one of those things that when I think back to the early days of MC Magic, you know, it was like stairs. It was like stone stairs, because that's all you could really do. And now you've added this amazing model, and it's just everything that adds fidelity to these parks, I think, impresses me, because really what this is all about is immersing yourself into the world of Disney. And this, you know, it's the minor things. This is the sort of thing, you know, I think other places might have just focused on the rides or, you know, the ride mechanics, but, you know, something as minor as the cash registers get the care and attention and detail that really add to the experience. Now, Mission Space, not my favorite ride in real Disney. In fact, I've aired my grievances with Mission Space multiple times and why I don't like it. There are videos about it. But this is where I first noticed the number 3 on my list. It's also, again, similar to the particle effects in other places because, you know, the smart cast members here, once they think of something really good and useful for an attraction, they use it elsewhere. But I'm going to show it off here. Let's see. Mission Space 4 is next, so let's go ahead and throw that on there. And so while the audio is not playing in this video because I'm sort of putting a video together and me and Gary Sinise talking over each other would be very distracting, my number 3 is the use of animated pictures to recreate these pre-ride videos that you see on attractions like this or like Soarin', things like that, when it shows up on a screen before you're about to get entered into a ride. Now, if you had the audio server going, you'd be hearing the audio go along with this. I love this. This one really took me by surprise because, you know, I didn't know about the functionality of this. I thought, you know, I saw the splash screen and thought, oh, cool, they use, you know, the photo plugin or whatever they use on the signs to sort of recreate, you know, the splash, so it kind of has that look. And then it started changing, and now we're seeing stills from the actual pre-ride, you know, the Cube pre-ride show. And I think that's really awesome because, again, like everything else on this list, it just adds so much more fidelity to this sort of Disney experience, and I think it's really fun. I haven't seen it elsewhere, but I'm, you know, still trying to explore more Disney servers. But it's just, it's really cool. It's, again, one of those things, you know, you'd think of the ride itself and the animation and stuff like that, and that's what really would get a lot of focus when you're building Mission Space, yet the detail that goes into whatever plugin here is running all of these still photos to recreate the pre-show is really awesome to me. And I guess there's a theme there, which is like, it's the minor details that really excite me because it just shows a real attention to detail that, you know, obviously that's redundant, but that's sort of, to me, shows a level that matches Disney's ideals of really focusing on details, and no matter how small, and even if it is the sort of thing that the average player might just totally ignore and run past. My number 2 is probably used in other attractions, but so far I've only seen it in Carousel of Progress, and it is this new animation style that is being used with the armor mannequins from Minecraft that are moving on their own to sort of create animatronics in shows like here in the Carousel of Progress. Which, by the way, just this new Carousel Progress on its own is fantastic. Like, so much more detailed than the older version. Now, this I have seen on other servers. I'm not going to pretend it's a brand new technology, but it is a really cool one. And it is one of these technologies that just didn't exist in the older version of Minecraft. I mean, one, you didn't have the armor stand, but two, just the thought of animating its positioning and having it on this loop. You know, it's funny looking at the command blocks to do things like this, to move these characters. It reminds me a lot of the early animatronics in real life, just how big those systems were, how big those computer systems were. And in a similar way that Disney was really trying to be on the forefront and really trying to use those technologies to the best of their ability, even if they weren't, you know, as highly detailed as, you know, what we see today. You know, you kind of see that same parallel here in these Disney servers and in MC Magic, where they're using this technology as soon as they can to create this movement, to add more immersion, to, in this case, replicate the original experience more and more. And I think it's just a fantastic use of these new tools. And then lastly, the number one on my list of things that I love. I know for a fact this isn't new with MC Magic. This has been on other servers like Craft Venture, and I've mentioned it in previous videos, and you're not actually witnessing it here because I'm editing a video, and so having all this different music would sort of throw me off here, but it is the audio plugin. Now, on MC Magic, similar to the way Craft Venture did it a long time ago, is if you type in the command /audio, it will give you a link that you can click on that opens up a page in your browser that connects to the game while you're in it, and it plays music around the parks, whether it's area loops or actual ride music or music from fountain shows or fireworks shows. It adds that music. It seamlessly transitions from one to the next depending on where you are in the parks. You don't have to do any sort of command work to go from one song to the next. It just knows where you are and automatically adjusts. And that's really cool, because I think out of all of the things that add to the level of immersion in MC Magic, this is the biggest. I mean, people asked me back when I was doing the original Minecraft Disney series if the music played while you were in there, and at the time it didn't. I had to add it in post in, you know, editing. And, you know, I would tell people how much fun it is to just load up the music on the side and walk around the parks with some park music running, because it adds to that level of immersion. And to have it do that automatically now just within this plugin, and to have it match up with where you are, just is a whole nother level that really impressed me and took me by surprise, and I love it. And it's part of the thing that made me realize I shouldn't have waited so long before coming back to MC Magic. Anyway, those are my top favorite things. I would love to hear what your favorite things about MC Magic are, whether they're new or old. And again, I hope you look out for more episodes. Like I said, MC Magic's not going to be the only server that we highlight in the series. We're going to try and bounce around. If you have suggestions for other Disney servers that are open to the public, feel free to let me know on Twitter. I'm at RobPlays, or you can let me know in the comments. I really want this series to try and emphasize that everybody has something in common. You know, I'm not blind to the way things work. I know that some servers, especially within this Disney community, have had bad blood between each other, and people on both ends have done, like, you know, really uncool things to each other. And that's the sort of, I guess, competitive nature that comes out of having these servers run up against each other. But at the end of the day, we all have the same thing in common. And while in the past I thought maybe the best thing to do would be to ignore all of that and just stay above it and not address any of that drama and things like that, maybe the best thing to do is to, you know, even if it helps a little, use this series to try and bring everybody together and have each other on good terms, and realize that it's okay for there to be more than one Disney World server. It's okay for there to be more than one Disneyland server. You know, you're all having fun, and that's all that really matters. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it, because it makes it that much better. And I hope to see you all next time on MC Disney. Bye, everybody.
Capture Christine's first look at the castle.
I know.